DESIblitz.com.
Hey guys, my name is Sorabh Pant. That's right, my surname is Pant. It is a wonderful surname. I was blessed with it because of the British. My surname is actually Punth, but the British decided when they came to India they can spell it, so they just call it Pant, which is why I was called Half Pant for half of my childhood. Once I got married, my wife was called Panty, and all my friends who are from Mexico are called Pantyhoses.
So how did you get into comedy first?
Purely by coincidence. I was a writer for TV for a long time, and Indian television was terrible and maintains that consistency till this date.
And Lok Sabha TV always gives the right news, because the news on Lok Sabha TV is always abhi samay hua hai. 5:32. And you're like, shit, sahi bola.
Like a friend of mine called Veer Das was doing stand-up, and he's like, hey, do you want to open for me? And I'm like, how much does it pay?
How did you develop the show, The Rant of the Pant?
Well, I mean, I realized that putting a pun of my surname in a title usually drives people to come and see what is this bullshit. My first show was Pant on Fire. My second show was Traveling Pants. Then I did a show in the middle called My Baby Thinks I'm Funny, which was not a pun, and it was very disappointing to me that it was not. But anyway, the show is essentially about me ranting and being really angry about issues and news topics that I feel very strongly about. And eventually it's going to, I think, branch off to something called just The Rant, which I hope to sell for at least $3.5 billion to The Daily Show, direct sale, in cash.
How is India reacting to modern stand-up comedians like yourself and jokes? And how has this evolved over the years?
I think currently what's happening is that there's a lot of, primarily because of the digital explosion in India, and also because 4G has gotten affordable to everyone. Also, the next change that's coming across specifically in India is a lot of regional comedy is going to be coming in. So whether it's in Hindi or Tamil or whatever, Punjabi, Marathi, that kind of thing is going to be the next big step. But because of the online explosion, what's also happening is that you're getting globally more popular.
What happens if people don't get your jokes or sketches?
I usually start from scratch, and so not only people in the UK who don't get it. Like I talk a lot about really like issues and all these things. Like I talk about the beef ban in India, and I get really in depth into what people said about it. So I usually start off every joke from scratch, where I'm like, if you come into this topic without knowing anything about this person, I will try and explain it to you. Somebody described recent show of mine as Wikipedia with jokes. So I think that's a pretty reasonable analysis.
Who makes Sorabh Pant laugh?
My 2-year-old son is the funniest person I've ever met in my life. He is hilarious, and I talk about him also briefly, even though the show is essentially about news and issues and all that nonsense. So he's consistently funny to me, and I don't even like kids. In general, I think right now what makes me laugh is people on social media who take themselves so seriously. I got somebody threatening me saying that don't make fun of Ravi Shastri. I'm like, he's an Indian cricket commentator. Is that where we are drawing the line now? It's like you can't make fun of that stuff.
Where do you come up with ideas for your show from? I mean, have you ever been in a remote jungle in India, for example, to get inspiration? You know what I mean? Jungle mein mangal?
Jungle mein mangal hasn't happened yet. Veerappan has not been my source of inspiration just yet. But I travel a lot, and I think it's a very interesting thing being a comedian, specifically in a country like India, which is so big. So you immediately know what people are thinking, what they're going through, and all that kind of stuff. So the topics just sort of keep coming. I've been doing stand-up for about 9 years now, and there's been some issues that I've been wanting to talk. And I think I should just stop using the word issues, because when people hear the word issues, they're like, this is going to be like a very in-depth United Nations discussion about life. But it's none of that stuff. It's I just talk about things that matter to me.
Have you ever offended anyone on stage through your satire?
I mean, all the time. It can't be a show until somebody's like, how dare you say that? I'm like, because you hate it. And it's you know, the weird thing is that in the show I talk about like politics, and I talk about all the different politicians and religion, and I talk about all this stuff. Yet the thing that irritates the hell out of people the most is my complete unabashed belief that poha, which is an Indian dish which is made of rice and crushed whatever, is the most disgusting thing any human being has ever tasted. And that really gets the goat of the audience. Like everything else they're fine with me talking about, like right-wingers, left-wingers, people in the center, but they're like, don't say anything about poha.
How do you deal with criticism, especially positive or negative?
It depends on if it's deserved or undeserved. To be honest, I have never done anything which is consciously trying to harm or make somebody feel bad about themselves. If they're feeling bad, that's essentially their own problem. I think one guy in the middle threatened me of Shah Rukh Khan. Shah Rukh Khan did a TED talk, or I don't know what he did. He's like, how dare you do this? You are anti-national and you cannot make fun of these people who are trying to represent the country and blah, blah, blah. So I said, hey, my show is in London, please come and tell your friends about it because I'm also going global.
Finally, what are your aspirations?
So the plan is to go like all over the place now. My main aim in life is to get a permit to live in Canada. That's my eventual aim in life. I have very Punjabi goals, even though I'm not Punjabi. But no, the idea is to be able to, like, I love traveling, and comedy is like literally a byproduct of my love for traveling and being able to just go to different cities. My essential idea is just for making people pay for my flight so I can come to a city and roam around and drink all the booze and pretend I'm here for the comedy. That's my essential aim in life. Also, aside from that, I'm also releasing a novel next month, which is going to be my third novel. And the big plan right now is to release one stand-up video a week from my page on Pant on Fire Comedy and Facebook as well. So, yeah. I am on DESIblitz.com, so thank you so much for tuning in, and please follow me across all the different social medias that exist in this vast periphery of humanity. Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it.